Just because it's more convenient?
Like just eating garlic cloves?
Yeah, eating garlic cloves.
I don't know if I would do that.
I eat garlic cloves
You do?
sometimes. Yeah.
You cook them?
No, I just eat them raw.
Oh, okay.
Because it feels like it's doing something.
All right.
Like if I'm not feeling good, I'll eat garlic. I'll eat like raw cloves, like 3 or 4 cloves. Then your body's like, whoa.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It don't give you indigestion and stuff?
A little bit maybe,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it really what it does is like it feels like you just took a drug. It
Okay.
feels like you took a medicine.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. How many you eat? 4?
3, 4.
3, 4?
Yeah.
I'll try that.
Some fat cloves, just chew them down. They taste nasty.
Okay.
Like while you're eating it. You're
I feel like I've tried
"Jesus."
that. Yeah, I've tried that. Yeah.
But I mean, I think there's something to like ancient medicine. Like people have been taking
Yeah.
garlic. I mean, obviously it has something to do with taste. 1,000-year-old onion and garlic eye remedy kills MRSA. 1,000 years old. Whoa, look at that cool ass language.
right there?
Look
Is
at that
it
cool
really?
language. What is that language?
It's Anglo-Saxon manuscript.
Whoa, look how wild that language is.
Language it is.
People used to draw so.
Old English, I guess.
Wow.
I guess you could probably read it.
So astonished to find it almost completely wiped out methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus. How do you say that? Staphylococcus?
Yeah, I always try to say that. right, too.
Staphylococcus?
Staphylococcus.
Staphylococcus aureus, otherwise known as MRSA. Their findings were presented at a national microbiology conference. The remedy was found in Ball's Leech Book, an old English manuscript containing instructions on various treatments held in the British Library. Isn't that wild, man? Like, there's stuff
Yeah, I
that
know.
works that, like, people have been doing for thousands of years, but people dismiss it as being voodoo.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what else is a cool one, too, is like a tip? Do you cramp up a lot ever?
No, I take a lot of electrolytes.
Okay.
I used to, but then I drink Element like almost like every day, basically.
My PT a long time ago recommended that, because I used to cramp up a lot, if spicy food, I guess, makes you not cramp up as much.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so like about 10 years ago when he told me that, now I love spicy food and I don't really need to force myself to eat it. But when he first told me that, I started eating a bunch of spicy stuff and I stopped cramping up as much.
Maybe that's why I don't cramp up. I eat a lot of spicy food.
Yeah, that might be why, because they have these little things that the UFC gives us too called hot shots, where if you're cutting weight, you're supposed to drink it, and it's pretty much just cinnamon and cayenne and like some other stuff. Yeah, and it's supposed to stop you from cramping. It works though.
No kidding. I wonder what the mechanism is of that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love hot sauce. So I have my own like kind of hot sauce. Like Senor Lechuga made like a little line of 3 hot sauces
All right, nice.
for me. But how do spicy foods prevent cramping? Okay, science is simple. If your neurons are too busy firing off to your mouth, they won't have time to bother cramping up your muscles.
What? That sounds
Wow, that's crazy.
pretend. That sounds pretend.
It does. Dr. McKinnon found
Just
that
trick them. Trick your body,
distract
stupid.
them.
Yeah.
Look over here. Found that spicy drinks help prevent these short bursts of muscle cramps. He teamed up with a biotech company to produce a product that can be sold online and found on the shelves at select stores. Hot Shot, there it is. A drinkable shot mixed with ginger and cinnamon. Ironman champ Craig Alexander is an avid user of the supplement, along with several other Rio Olympic runners. Interesting.
It works, dude, because the second I started doing that, I stopped cramping up. I'll still get one every once in a while. It's
Yeah.
not like a 100% thing, but it works.
Yeah. Yeah, muscle cramps must be brutal when you're cutting weight, right? Because you're draining your body of basically everything.
Yeah. I don't. My weight cuts, I'm pretty like, I kind of got down to a science a little bit. I don't really cramp super bad.
How much do you cut? Like,
A week before, I try to be like 16 to 18 pounds heavy over. And then I'll lose that last bit that week. But I'll walk around if I'm really fat, like on vacation and shit, just not caring. I'll be about 162. When I'm training good and like all of that, I'll be about 157, 158. And then I just got to lose until I'm about 52, 51 the week before. And then
is
that
it
week I lose the rest.
the week, is it calorie restriction in the beginning and then water restriction? Or like, how do you do it?
It's a decent. So 10 days away, I start loading up on water. Like the rule of thumb is however many pounds you got to lose, that's how many pounds of water you'll drink that day. So if I have 16 to lose, I'll have to drink 2 gallons of water. Also, don't take any of my advice if you're listening to, because I don't really fucking know. I know that like water shit can get really scary. So I don't, like people chugging distilled water have like killed themselves and stuff.
Yeah, distilled water. Is that what you drink?
No.
Yeah, that's not good for you.
Yeah. But yeah, 10 days away, I start loading up on the water. And then on the Tuesday, so we weigh in Friday, so however many days before that is, on Tuesday, you'll do the cut the sodium. And then that pretty much, you lose a lot when you're chugging that much water and cut sodium. So I would say on Tuesday, a lot of it is water. And then it's kind of up to me how crazy I want to go with food. I'm obviously not eating like super huge meals that week, but I don't let myself get too hungry. I'm pretty good about a lot of stuff where now I can kind of be like, if I go to bed like at like an 8 amount of hunger, instead of like a 7, I'll know almost exactly how much I'll lose the next day, which is like kind of cool.
How much of a performance hit do you think you have? I mean, obviously you're in phenomenal condition, but how much of a hit do you think you have in dehydrating yourself 24 hours before a fight?
Yeah, good. I think it depends on how much water you lose too. I think just off the top of my head, maybe 15 or 20,
15 or 20%?
maybe.
So what would you think about if the UFC instituted more weight classes and they eliminated weight cuts? Like, what if they said, like, because it is, for some guys, it is the most dangerous part
Yeah.
of the fight, because some guys go hard.
Yeah,
some
they
guys
do.
are losing 26, 30 pounds within a couple of days, and they just look like hell.
Yeah, I think that the way to solve that, because one's tried doing that with like the rehydration tests, and everyone that I talked to that's like been involved with that has been like, dude, I could cheat that easy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But
How do they cheat it?
I mean, there's just like, if you know that you're gonna get like hydrate tested at a certain time, I'm sure that they probably just drink most of their water during that time or something like that.
But then your weight would be higher, right?
Yeah, your weight would have to be higher, but I don't know that they like test you. Yeah, I guess I don't really know honestly, but I mean, if they're gonna test you do they test you like, hey,
I
your
don't
weight
know.
has to be this, and then your height? I think that they just go in and they're like, hey, how yellow is your piss? Type of thing, you know. I'm pretty sure that that's what it might be.
How
If it's like more
dehydrated is your piss?
scientific, then cool, but if
I think it's
it
gotta
might
be
just
more-
be like, hey.
It's got to be more scientific, because sometimes my piss is pretty yellow. And it just meant I drank a lot of vitamins. Or ate a
Yeah.
lot of vitamins. You know, I think it's there's like an actual test where they test
Yeah.
the levels.
I think that if you added in more weight classes, that would handle
Yeah.
a lot of it.
Yeah.
I'd probably just do 140.
Would you? If that
Probably.
would that be ideal for you?
That'd be pretty ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the UFC should have more weight classes, and I've said this for a long time. I just think there's some gaps that are crazy. Like the 85-205
Yeah,
gap
that's a
is
big one.
nuts.
Mhm.
20 pounds is nuts.
That's crazy.
That's not. That's 3 weight classes at least in
Mhm.
between fights. Like or in between classes rather. That's nuts. I just don't understand that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the way that old sports kind of do things, they do things for a reason. So like boxing and
Yeah.
wrestling, they
Yeah.
all have like, it's every 7 pounds or whatever it is.
I know, but
They
the
should
UFC is
definitely
like,
do
oh,
that.
too many champions that way. It's too confusing. I'm like, what are you talking? What? It's one UFC champion per weight class.
Yeah.
You'd have more champions, and then you could also have more champion versus champion fights.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
it wouldn't be like Ilya going up 10 pounds is not too crazy. But
Mm-hmm.
Alex, when he went from 85 to 205, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's
a
crazy.
big ass jump, man.
Yeah.
Obviously, he could do it because he's one of the craziest weight cutters of all time. I mean, he was fighting 85 and weighing in at 226 the day of the fight.
What?
Yep.
Really?
Oh, yeah. When he fought Adesanya, he was 226 when he
40
got into the cage.
Is that 41 pounds or 31 pounds? Am I stupid?
41 pounds.
So after 36 hours, he put on that?
41
Oh,
pounds. Yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
Holy shit, dude.
That's crazy.
But he's also giant. He's an
Yeah.
enormous guy. He's like a lot of body mass.
Yeah.
And apparently it's easier to cut weight like Yoel Romero style, like when you're that muscular, because
Mm-hmm.
most of the muscle's water, which is kind of counterintuitive. You think like a fat guy you could be able to lose more weight. But no, it's actually to dry out, the big muscular guys can lose more weight.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I have a theory too, like the more ripped you are, the easier it is to sweat too. Because if your muscle is like muscle, then fat, then skin, and you gotta like, it's gotta travel through the fat. This is how I fucking think, dude. There's no evidence of any of that. Because there are some fatzos that sweat, but I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, I can just see who's gonna be a good sweater and who's not, but that's probably me just being.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any science to that.
Makes sense in your head, though.
Kind of.
It makes sense in your head.
I kind of see what you're saying.
But
Yeah.
you could also, I guess, make an argument that fat makes you warmer too, and maybe that sweats it out too.
Yeah.
But I don't think that there would be a problem with doing multiple weight classes, because then you would just have like what you do in boxing, where you just have
Yes.
like you have like one dude with like 8 belts.
Right.
That would be
Right.
cool.
Like look at Pacquiao.
Yeah.
He just keeps going up in weight classes, and yeah, I think that it'd just be better for the athletes, and I think it'd be better for the sport in general. You're still going to have like incredible fights because the level of competition, particularly at the lowest weight classes, is so high right now. Like I think your weight class, featherweight, and lightweight are the most competitive weight classes in the sport. And there's almost too many top contenders where guys are forced to take fights that maybe you really shouldn't take that fight because you're kind of in title contention. And then, you lose a close decision. Fuck, now you're back to the drawing board. Now you got to fight this guy. Oh, you got injured in camp. Fuck, you lose to that guy too. Now you're set back when you could have been a champion.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of like weirdness going on with possibilities and just luck, bad luck, and good luck.
Bad luck and good luck. Timing, I think, is a
Yeah.
big thing. Like, I think that I was even saying this before the Figueiredo fight. I was like, watch, like, if I go out and finish Figgy, which not a lot of people are able to do, the timing of everything is going to be perfect for me because there will be no one else. And
Right.
that's me also, coming off of a loss from Umar just a year ago, which anytime you lose is kind of devastating. You're like, oh, it'll never happen for me, but then it's like, oh, wait, no, if this thing gets timed out right, like it could work out. So a lot
You
of this
lost
shit is
though,
timing.
but it was a competitive, close fight.
Yeah, I know. I fucked that one up.
What did you think went wrong? Like when you say you fucked it up.
More than anything, okay, it was like it's never just one thing. It's always like things get compiled and then they exponentially get worse. One big thing was I knew I was fighting in the Middle East and I wasn't going to get like a nod if it was a close fight. And Umar's a defensive guy and I'm a defensive guy. And I knew that there was potential for rounds to be really close. My game plan wasn't going to be to take him down. So anytime you're going to be like, hey, like I'm committing to striking, there is a little bit of a level of rolling the dice because striking matches in a 5-minute round are really hard to like hammer down and be like, I won this round against really high level guys. That's my opinion. I thought that I would be able to stuff most of the shots. So I was like, okay, most of this thing is going to be done striking.